Hey everybody, this is Jessica of JessicaLynnOriginal Studios, and today I have a really exciting project in store for you. So we're going to be creating wooden face cutouts, and it's going to include a lion, a greatest showman like a ringmaster, and then an elephant. Now these props that I'm building are going to serve as perfect photo opportunities. It's the ones where the kids can place their face in the circles and then create fun and memorable goofy snapshots. And the best part is, I actually hand drew these images myself, so I get to add such a personal touch to this project. So let's not waste any more time, let's go ahead and dive right in. So what I did here is these boards, they're huge like pallet boards. They were actually donated. It's a project for an elementary school fundraiser, so I'm really excited about that. And basically I want to give you kind of an idea of what I had. So obviously you have to have the wooden board, which I have 2 of them, and I already had made the lion, and I apologize I didn't film that one, but I did film the second one, but I'll show the lion too. I have a pencil, sandpaper for smoothing the edges. I'm going to use acrylic paints to add bright pops of color, and then paintbrushes. So once I have all these items, this should be a pretty smooth crafting experience, so fingers crossed. So now, as you can see, what I'm working on is kind of just getting my brain flowing, trying to do some sketching. I just found a couple of pictures that I showed right at the beginning of the video. So basically what I'm going to do is, the way I draw is like an animator, so old school, right? So I sketch a whole bunch of lines. I'm not too worried about how they look or how they're finishing. And then when I'm done, you can see I go back in with a black Sharpie to pick the lines that I really want. And I'm not going to worry too much about erasing all those, because when I put the paint on it, you won't see it anyway. So it'll be pretty easy. So now that I have everything drawn, basically I'm just going to go ahead and smooth out any edges and get paints ready. So I use sandpaper to just sort of smooth out any rough areas to create a nice and safe finish, because obviously kids are going to be putting their faces in there, so I don't want anybody hurt. I tried to remove any splinters or sharp edges because obviously, I can't have that for the little kids, and safety is my top priority, as well as making something fun for the little ones to enjoy. So the next step would be to pull up my acrylic paints. So with all the shapes ready, the last step will actually be to cut out the faces. So I won't actually be doing that today. That's going to be done by another person who has the equipment to be able to do that. So that's why I wrote like cut out this circle. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the acrylics like I started here, and I'm going to paint each design. I'm going to add some vibrant hues. I'm going to try and play with some details. One of the things I love to do when I paint is to add a lot of shadows and highlights to the items that I create. So I'm going to try and do that, and I only bought very minimal colors. So with this one of my goals is to do a lot of color creation, so mixing to get the colors I want. So time to pull out that old school art theory that I learned many years ago from an amazing art teacher named Mr. Skilly. Shout out to him. But it's kind of fun to do that, because then you get such different shades and colors, and I think that that's really part of the fun of it. And I'm not being too careful when I'm painting the backgrounds, because I am going to come back with that black Sharpie one more time at the end, and I will be just sort of finalizing those lines. If you think about animation, right, old school animation, like go and look at like The Little Mermaid from Disney or Beauty and the Beast and pause a frame. One of the things they do is they will outline with a much darker color. Not always black, sometimes it's like a brown or a blue, but definitely go and see that, because it's part of the animation process, and they build up layers. So the way old school animation works, and digital is a little different, but it's still kind of the same concept, is that you would design the background as layer 1, put another layer over top with a second cell, which would be like the characters potentially, or whatever, right? And then from there you kind of keep layering these things on, and then from the top you take an image, and that's what you actually see in the screen. So for every moment in like The Little Mermaid or something that you see animation, it literally is, here's a picture, great, next one. Boom, here's the picture. Now the background may not change, but the cell holding the character could change. So that's the way I like to paint. I think it's just a fun way to, it's just my style, right? Everybody has their own, and mine is very cartoony, lots of thick lines. My characters are bold and very vibrant, and I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be so much fun, and like I said, I cannot wait to see the kids, you know, putting their faces in here and having such a good time with their families. And now you can see I'm starting to put some shadows and highlights in here. So I used the same core base, so that same gray, and then I just added a little more white, and you can see I've got black on the plate as well, which is what I'll use once I'm done with all my highlights. And the trick that I do is that I like to, while the paint is still wet, so think about it like watercolor, right? So with watercolors, you want to continue to build up, you know, hues and colors while it's still wet, because they kind of blend better and they look more natural. So I'm trying to do the same thing with the acrylics. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see most of this gray is still wet. So when I put the darker shade of gray, it sort of just, see, it just sort of melts into it. And then I'm able to get kind of more of a smooth gradation rather than like big harsh lines. And I think it's going to look really good when it's done. Like, I can't wait to see. I think the line, you can see him in the background a little bit, and he looks so good. He actually almost looks like a fluffy stuffed animal, which is crazy to me, you know, because it's just paint. So you can see I'm adding a little bit of that black in there just to darken up some shadows on him. And this elephant is supposed to be a baby elephant, so that's why the ringmaster, or the greatest showman, is pretty close in size. And I did dirty up his legs just a little bit. It's funny, just the outline of that greatest showman, he almost had like a Willy Wonka feel to me, like I could have done it in purple and it would have looked like Willy Wonka. But I absolutely love this. I think this is going to be just so dynamic, and I can't wait to see it out in the true sunlight. It's going to be nice and bold and just photogenic. And while I'm adding all this red paint, I'm just going to ask that you kindly don't forget to go ahead and like this video and be sure to subscribe. My channel is very eclectic and fun. I will call it my creative adventures. As you can see, I love to be creative. This is a crafting video. I also own my own rubber stamp company, which again is JessicaLynnOriginal Studios. And on there, I draw all of the art. I do custom stamps, ready-to-go stamps. And then the rest of this channel is all about adventures, true adventures out in the world. And so it's very fun for me to be able to share not only travel adventures. So coming this year, we're going to be having a bunch of staycation videos. We're going to have a bunch of videos on location in different places, the Dells, Disney, etc. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But everything I do has a very creative and artistic feel to it. So I really hope that you are interested in this, and obviously if you've been hanging out with me now today, I hope that you are. But go ahead and subscribe, costs nothing, and then anytime that we upload a new video, you'll just get notified on YouTube that it's available. The other option too, and the other thing I ask is please go ahead and like this video, because it lets other people of like minds go ahead and get notified that this is a great video for them to watch. And it really helps support my channel, so I appreciate it. I am absolutely loving YouTube, and I think this is such a fun way to be able to share, you know, creative ideas, adventures, my company, the whole bit. So I appreciate you being here today. Let's go ahead and keep on painting. couple of things I do want to share. Now, I told you just a few moments ago that my channel is all about creative adventures. And why does that mean anything? Well, creativity, it really plays a vital role in who our personal and professional lives and who we are. And there are tons of benefits and advantages. So first, being creative enables us to approach challenges and problems from such a unique perspective. You know, I personally love to think outside of the box. In fact, I have been told some days I actually take that box, throw it across the room, take the key, throw it the other way, and it helps me generate creative solutions, you know, that may not be immediately apparent. So by being able to embrace creativity, I think we kind of break free from, you know, monotony or, you know, being bored, and it allows you to explore new possibilities. I mean, I never thought that I would ever want to go on YouTube full-time and enjoy it this way. But I'll tell you, having your feedback, hearing from others, it is so inspiring. And the next thing I know is I find myself being even more creative or wanting to share more. And it is such a full circle. You know, for me, you know, because the world is so quickly changing and, you know, you want something that's sort of constant. Being able to be creative, it gives me kind of a, what do I want to say, like a creative or a different edge, you know. It allows me to basically navigate through complex situations, sometimes a little faster and easier. And I've had some strange things happen in 2023 that, you know, have been kind of personal in my family that, you know, have been very stressful. And what I realized was that finding this creative outlet really kind of just brought things like so full circle to me. You know, in my family, I have been blessed that a bunch of the women in my family are such creatives, painters, artists, drawing, and it's so like full circle to be able to sit down and do something like this and sort of think about the heritage of the women in my family who have done this in the past. Now, not necessarily this exact project, but truly just being that creative individual that people go to for this kind of stuff. So the other thing about creativity is that it really allows someone the opportunity for self-expression, and it allows you to sort of let out that emotional side of you. So for me, whether I'm painting or drawing or writing, which if you don't know, I am currently writing a children's book, and I am going to be putting together a full 10-part series on this YouTube channel, all about that book. I cannot wait. Like, I cannot wait. I have everything, you know, cross my T's, dot my I's, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. I am so excited. But because of those creativity things and the artistic expressions, you know, it lets me sort of tap into my thoughts and my emotions in a very authentic way to you. And it has allowed me the opportunity for some self-discovery, some different confidence in just doing this sort of process on YouTube. And it makes me feel so fulfilled to see these processes come to light. Like, when they asked me to do this, I was kind of like, well, yeah, I guess I could. But to take it from, yeah, I guess I could, to where this is going, I literally feel so like excited and proud, and I cannot wait. You know, I cannot wait to see how the kids react to this. So I feel like maybe this isn't your creative thing, but there is something out there that is your creative thing. And what I've realized in stress and in drama and all this other stuff that happens in our lives is that you need to make sure you have that kind of outlet. You know, maybe you start by watching videos like this, and then all of a sudden you go, you know, maybe I could do that. Or maybe not. You know, that's okay. But maybe there's something else that you do that's creative. That's some sort of artistic expression that basically allows you to kind of channel your thoughts, your feelings into some kind of creation, which helps you better understand maybe what's going on in your life or a process. I don't know. That's my little 2 cents. I'll get off my little soapbox now. But I just, you know, it's one of those, creativity is so important. And that's what I love about this channel. And I love what I'm doing, because I'm able to share with you more than just, oh, here's a piece of art. So in finishing that part, honestly, if you're able to foster some kind of creativity in your life, it's going to really help you overall with your being. It's going to help you connect with yourself and then other people too on such a different level. So don't be afraid to try something like this, or figure out what it is that's your creative process, and don't be afraid of it. Because why not, right? I'll tell you, after some of the stress I've had lately, sitting down and doing this just made me feel so fulfilled, and I can't wait. So as I'm finishing this painting up, you can see I'm just painting in some letters. And then what I'm going to do is, once it dries, I'll go back through with that big marker that I used earlier, just re-outline the whole thing, because sometimes I might have gone over it a little bit, but I really want it to be nice and crisp. Again, just like that animator style, right? But I am so happy with how this turned out. I think that it is so adorable. And I'm just going to add a little light shadows, little highlights here on the letters. That'll just make it kind of stand out just a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Well, I hope that this inspired you. I do want to say thank you so much for joining me on my creative journey today. I hope you enjoyed this DIY project as much as I did. And remember, these face cutouts could be wonderful for parties, events, just a fun afternoon with your family and friends. And don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more crafting ideas, art, travel, adventures. And then I would love to hear from you. What do you think? This is kind of how they finished after I sprayed them. So you can see I actually finished them off, because in case they get a little wet out in the rain, I don't want them to be destroyed. So I am just, every once in a while, you go through that process and you go, I don't know how it's going to turn out. And I'm floored. So I do thank you again. I'll put some more videos down below for you to watch. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you again on the next one. Take care, guys.